test? Test one? Oh, good, thank you.
Now, if this goes over this, if you're reading, is that bad?
Good evening. Welcome to the University of Toledo College of Nursing Summer 2020 BSN White Coat Ceremony. My name is Kathleen Mitchell, and I serve as the Assistant Dean of Student Services in the College of Nursing. It is my pleasure to now introduce our Dean, Dr. Linda Lewandowski, who is also Vice Provost for Health Affairs for Interprofessional and Community Partnerships. Dr. Lewandowski.
Good evening, everybody. We're socially distancing here and only a few people, so we're taking off the mask, but in general, wear your mask. Good evening and welcome to our virtual white coat ceremony here at the U Toledo College of Nursing. As Dr. Mitchell noted, I have the honor and privilege of serving as Dean of the College of Nursing, and this ceremony is always one of our special moments of the year. Given the times in which we live, of course, as our first priority, we have to promote the health and safety of everybody. So we're not able to be together tonight in face-to-face mode. So although this white coat ceremony is a little different in the past, it's still really a special day. This evening we've gathered not in an auditorium, but in homes and communities as faculty, staff, family members, friends, and significant others to join to witness the ceremonial entrance into the nursing profession of 102 Bachelor of Science in Nursing students. Being a nurse is, in fact, a wonderful decision. Nurses save lives and play increasingly vital roles in today's healthcare system. The advent of the COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the important role of nurses in the healthcare system, heightening the visibility and impact of nursing in a way probably never before seen. The old notion of a nurse as handmaiden to the profession or to the physician is long gone, if it ever really existed in reality. Nursing calls for intelligent women and men who are caring and compassionate and employ complex assessment skills, critical thinking, and problem solving to, as our University of Toledo mission prescribes, improve the health condition, human condition in the region and the world. Nurses work in hospitals, clinics, schools, jails, factories, health departments, substance abuse treatment centers, hospice, daycare centers, senior centers, rural farm communities, urban metro centers, villages in Africa or South America. Nurses are everywhere, working to improve the health and well-being of individuals, families, communities, and nations across the globe. Nurses work as bedside nurses, critical care nurses, public health nurses, academic or hospital educators, researchers, consultants, health policy experts in the halls of state legislatures or Congress, and even recently as acting Surgeon General of the United States. The options for how you will make your impact as a nurse are really limitless. We know that the public appreciates the special role nurses play. The World Health Organization designated 2020 as the International Year of the Nurse and Midwife in honor of the 200th anniversary of Florence Nightingale. They had no idea at the time how prophetic the Year of the Nurse in 2020 would be. Last December, the American public again ranked nurses as the professionals with the highest honesty and ethical standards, the most trusted profession. This is an awesome distinction, and you are all going to be building your careers on this awesome legacy. So today marks a symbolic beginning. The white coat ceremony has served as a rite of passage into one's profession for several healthcare professions in recent years, and now nursing has adopted this ceremony as our rite of passage ceremony. My more mature, as they like to say, faculty colleagues will remember our capping ceremonies that for many of us marked a similar beginning. The lamp, which we symbolically have here, has also been, originating with Florence Nightingale, has also been a symbol of nursing. Nowadays, it's the white coat. The College of Nursing adopts this practice for each new nursing cohort. Today's white coat ceremony is supported by a grant received through the Arnold P. Gold Foundation and the American College Association of Colleges of Nursing. We will see that each one of you receives a pin from the Gold Foundation that bears the admonition of keeping healthcare human next time you come into lab. Nursing has a rich history. The legacy of nursing has national as well as international roots. I'm pleased now to introduce our esteemed speaker for this evening, Dr. Carrie Lee, a professor here in our college and a nurse historian, who will take us on a journey through time, highlighting some of nursing's rich heritage and important contributions to the health and well-being of our nation and the world. Dr. Lee.
Thank you, Dean Lewandowski. Welcome, students. On behalf of our faculty, I am confident in saying that you have made an excellent choice in choosing nursing. The 2020 year of the nurse and midwife gives us a wonderful opportunity to reflect upon our heritage and the possibilities of our future, a future that you will be a part of. In February of this year, I presented at an international nursing history conference in Florence, Italy, rightfully titled Florence 2020, as that is the city of her birth. Presentation topics ranged from nurses' involvement with tuberculosis management in World War I, to the origins of advanced practice nursing in the United States, to the experience of nurses in the 2017 terrorist attack in Barcelona, Spain. Attending this conference was yet another way that I can take pride in the heritage of our profession and its influence from the local to the most far-reaching of places. I was able to imagine the paths of many nurses as I listened to global scholars. With that in mind, I have framed my remarks around the word imagine. Yet again this year, as Dr. Lewandowski stated, we have ranked tops in the annual Gallup poll that describes us as the most trustworthy and reliable profession, consistently held in high regard by others. An exception to this was in 2001, when firefighters were included in the survey post 9/11, and their top ranking, of course, is both well-earned and saluted. We earned that result by always delivering on the American Nurses Association definition of our work: to protect and to promote health, to prevent illness and injury, to promote healing, to alleviate suffering, and to serve as advocates. Sounds like a tall order, right? Well, it is not more than we can do, and it's certainly not more than we have done. Imagine what has been done, and imagine what you will do. Noted historian David McCullough contends, history is who we are and why we are the way we are. This holds true for you. Each of you have a history, a journey of experiences, relationships, and interests that have informed your choice to be here today. His adage also holds true for our professional history. Countless men and women have advanced our cause for centuries. As you imagine your future, I hope you will take pride in a newfound connection to our fine past. Time is limited, but let's just imagine a bit about some of those who have come before you. Imagine Anna Mae Hayes, who died recently at the age of 97. From a childhood in which she practiced wrapping bandages around the legs of a kitchen table, she was inspired to join the Army Nurse Corps after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. She went on to establish the first military hospital in Incheon during the Korean War, oversaw a 4,500 member nursing corps in Vietnam when trauma care was advancing, and she led the Army Nurse Corps. At a time when it was a hard sell, she pushed to advance education for military nurses and was a pioneer in removing barriers to pregnant women and to mothers in the military. Although her obituary states that there are no survivors, in one sense this is incorrect. Just imagine the legacy of leadership and commitment that she left behind for the nurses she led and the Army Corps, and the men and women who followed as future leaders. Imagine the young nurses of Boston General Hospital boarding a train in response to a 1917 massive harbor explosion in Halifax, Canada, that killed and injured thousands. Such was the gratitude of Nova Scotia that they have sent a large Christmas tree to the city of Boston in gratitude. It must have been exciting for nurses, like one of our former faculty members, Dr. Kay Courthouse, to be among the first of nurses to open a critical care unit as they emerged in the 1960s. Now common, this innovation presented exciting new opportunities for nurses as clinical experts in the delivery of complex care. As we consider contemporary disease contagions, imagine being with lay nurse Kezia DePelkin, who went toward and not away from providing care in multiple 19th century yellow fever epidemics. Many nurses' journeys are unsung and untold, so here's a shout out to our local history, to men and women who decade after decade showed up every day, wherever they worked, and did it well. They took every change in healthcare delivery and nursing in stride. Imagine the importance of their work to countless patients and families, both their mission and their reward. Imagine Clara Barton's journey as Civil War nurse and founder of the American Red Cross, who challenged queries about her presence as a woman in the arena of war. She replied, "If you chance to feel that the positions I occupied were rough and unseemly for a woman, I can only reply that they were rough and unseemly for men." Similarly, in service, poet Walt Whitman wrote that he gained more from those he cared for than they did from him, describing this work as the greatest privilege and satisfaction, and of course, the most profound lesson of my life. Imagine the career of Mary Eliza Mahoney, who in 1879 became the first African-American graduate nurse in the United States, and dedicated much of her career to challenging the status quo and the discrimination found in her chosen field. The American Nurses Association has a tradition of an award for her to nurses whose efforts expand diversity and inclusion in nursing. Imagine the efforts of Dr. Luther Chrisman, an early advocate for gender diversity in nursing, the first male dean of an American nursing school, and co-founder of the American Association for Men in Nursing. 2 national awards honor his career in recognizing the substantial contributions of men to the advancement of nursing. Imagine the careful efforts of all the standard bearers who continue the mission of building diversity in our ranks so that we become more and more like the people and communities we serve. What must have had been like for the Red Cape Anzac girls of Australia and New Zealand to travel to Gallipoli in the Great War, some of them lost at sea. Imagine the experience of Nurse Lydia King, who wrote in her diary, "Shall not describe their wounds, they were too awful. One loses sight of all the honor and the glory in the work we are doing." Imagine the nurses who have served in the military, including those from our faculty and student bodies, who have served in times of both peace and war, and often in harrowing circumstances. An example is our CNL program alum, Air Force Major Michelle Binder, whose personal history of overseas deployment and seeing those with PTSD influenced her choice to earn a psych mental health doctoral degree. Mary Breckenridge, 1925 founder of the Kentucky Frontier Nursing Service, wrote, "It grew upon me that nurse midwifery was the logical response to the needs of the young child in rural America. My work would be for them." Can you imagine going to clinical rotations on horseback, no matter the conditions in rural Appalachia? Her pioneering work continues there today as an outstanding model of rural care delivery. Lillian Wald's public health nursing in the late 19th and early 20th century was visionary, and she modeled for us social activism. Imagine since the countless nurses, including those in our college, who have expanded professional education, influenced policy and legislation for the public good, and advocated for the development of a just society and healthcare system. So you can see it's not hard to imagine our place in that pool. Imagine the ways that nurses have and will continue to do that, and how you will in the future. I truly believe that each of you go through a process of becoming a nurse, just like we did. What you learn, see, and do here in the next few years will forge your beginning identity as nurse. You might not see it now, but we can imagine your future successes as nurses and leaders. You are our legacy. Celebrate beginning, take full advantage, and just imagine, right there on the shoulder of that new white coat are those who have come before you. Best wishes. I would like now to introduce Dr. Susan Sahaki, Program Director of our pre-licensure BSN program, who will introduce the next part of this evening's program.
Good evening. Students, it's a great pleasure and a privilege to welcome you to the profession of nursing. First, I'd like to share with you a little bit of my history in this profession. I've had opportunities to work with cancer patients who are struggling with that diagnosis, very scary diagnosis, or struggling to die with dignity. Often surrounded by their loving family, caregivers, and those who are there to help them, often to make a transition from this life to the next. Among my most privileged moments are those holding the hands of a patient as they take their last breath, and then holding the hand of the family who just witnessed that and have no idea what to do next. I have worked with a gifted surgeon who tried to reconstruct a nose, a chin, a breast of a patient who is with a diagnosis of cancer. And I worked in a long-term care facility, educating those with minimal formal education to learn to speak with a frightened elder who was just deposited at that nursing facility, often because their care needs have become insurmountable by the family or because they can no longer communicate their care needs. These professional experiences have formed me, and they've molded me into the educator that I am today. You have many things to learn, many things to experience, to feel. And today is your first step in that formation process. Today, we formally welcome you into the profession of nursing. As we could not conduct our ceremony this evening in person, we asked each of our students to send a video of their own special cloaking, whether it was them cloaking themselves or family members cloaking them or someone important to them cloaking them. These were special moments for you, and we're pleased to share them with all of you now. I think you'll enjoy this 17-minute video that shows each of our students in their special moment. We will then come back together and ceremonially recite the Nightingale Pledge. So let's get started with the video.
I love seeing all the individual moments each of you made your own something very special. Although I didn't get to shake each of your hands and personally welcome you into the profession, I'd like to say right now to each and every one of you, welcome to nursing. Let's do a virtual applause and celebration for all of our nursing students. Wherever you are out there, hope that you're celebrating. Thank you. So you were all sent a copy of the Nightingale Pledge. Hopefully you have that. Now we'd like you to all put your camera on so that we can see you in a gallery shot here, which I can't see on my camera, but you can see it? Okay. All right, so everybody ready? We're all going to we're going to say the Nightingale Pledge. The Nightingale Pledge has been an honored tradition of nurses since 1893. Can you fix it on my camera too, or so I can see them all too? Students, if you'll please rise wherever you are, and we're going to recite the University of Toledo College of Nursing's updated version of the Nightingale Pledge. So please read along with me as we go. Are you all ready? Thumbs up if you're ready out there. Ready? Okay, here we go. I solemnly promise to practice nursing to the best of my ability, to live my life with integrity. I will strive for excellence in professional nursing standards and the ANA ethics as guide. I will endeavor to use my intellect, spirit, and knowledge in providing non-judgmental, compassionate, and quality care to all that I serve. I accept the responsibility of this important work and embrace a journey of constant learning and growth. I will work collaboratively to protect and promote the health and safety of individuals, communities, and society. I will do all in my power to maintain and elevate the art and science of nursing, respectful of the contribution of nurses who have come before me. Today, I proudly begin my commitment to this wonderful profession. Yay, good job. In closing, we know that the journey you've embarked on will require dedication, effort, and resilience. But you're not alone in this journey. You have with you, either physically or in spirit, your family, friends, significant others who will be here to support you over the next 2 years as you pursue your final goals of becoming a nurse. The faculty, staff, and I are also here to assist you, whether virtually or in person. We're with you and we'll be cheering you on. Your future is bright. So once again, congratulations to each of you who worked so hard to make this moment. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's truly a day of celebration. We welcome you into the nursing community. Go Rocket Nursing. Thank you.